Every time someone tried to say that what I was doing a technique, I always said no, 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 no. There's a lot of techniques out there. I'm doing this thing, but it's not a technique. So in order to defend myself, I started calling it MT, as in movement therapy. Not McLeod Technique, so they'd say, I said, we just don't call it MT. So I felt good about that. And so one time I got booked into England, and they were like, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to be teaching MT. And they were like, MT, what's that? I said, movement therapy. They said, we already have that. You can't call it that here. And I was like, no, but like, we've been calling that for 17 years. It's movement therapy. They're like, no, but in England, you can't call it that. What are you going to call it? And still to this moment, I am not comfortable with it. But what she helped me to do was to define it, and that's what it's all about. Technique is about intention, right? It's about intention, what you're trying to do, right? So, as this beautiful gentleman in the back taught me, right? When you take the space like this, Merce, as in Merce Cunningham, calls that a curve. He calls it a curve. He doesn't give it any kind of emotional disposition. It's just a shape. It's a curve. When Martha does it, it's violent, and it's a contraction, right? That the body is going to come to protect itself. When Catherine does it, it's about everything that came before her, right? It's about everything that came before her. So it's the intention of a movement that makes it a technique, not the movement. So I finally was like, okay, cool. I can do this McLeod thing. I can do it because I have my intention. My intention will be to celebrate all the other dances. That will be my intention. Because if you walk into a ballet class, a ballet school, anywhere in the world, and if you're dealing with 10 of the worst ballet teachers in the world, and you ask them, what are the 10 most basic techniques of ballet? They're going to say, within reason, tendu, plie, dégagé, rondezon, right? But if you ask the 10 best modern teachers in the world, what are the 10 most basic modern exercises? Right? Which makes it hard for modern dance to breathe on the world stage sometimes. Because I can go, boom, you're a ballet diva, be a ballet diva. But when I say you're a modern diva, what does that mean? You can train all your life in modern dance and walk into a modern class and be lost. Totally lost. So what my objective was to do was to play homage to Limón, into Martha Graham, into Catherine Dunham, into Horton, and to all of them, and try to come up with this cacophony that said, this is the perfect complement. If you learn this, you should be able to at least swim in those classes. You're not going to master them. You're going to have to spend time in them, but this will at least get you to be able to get past that entrance exam. Right? So what we're going to do is only talk about the plie de bras. In modern plie de bras, we have so many different variations. Right? And we're going to follow the 6. So what we decided to do was, one is our base plie de bras. Base plie de bras, when arms come up like this, elbows are alive, we think that the middle finger is trying to touch the elbow. The pinky is trying to touch the ceiling, and the thumb is trying to touch the floor. The wrist is engaged. And you stand taut, ribs return home, and then you try to anchor yourself in the floor with 6 contact points, 3 per feet. Under the big toe, under the pinky toe, and in the center of the heel. You got 2 feet, you should have 6 points. Right? And 1. And then your objective is always attempting to stay part of the floor. Now, when we do this, what starts to happen is you start to get this kind of finger dexterity. Doesn't it look like our fingers are already alive? Like she wants to say something. Like he wants to say something. Like they're going to have a conversation. Right? So then, our first plie de bras is what we call isolation. The first plie de bras is plie de bras isolation. So taking those fingers, making them live, and sticking them into a big wall of jello. Cherry jello. Because I like cherry jello. So we push them into the cherry jello. Then someone's holding the wrist, and they have to pull them out. When they do so, it allows for them to start to elongate the spine, to drop the tailbone, and to find this long, plumb center. Right? It just ends up being natural, because when you pull, you want to pull back. So all of a sudden, you have this elongation. And you start to actively think, not about one thing, but about harmony of things. Right? Good, again. So, the first port de bras is isolation. In, and then the second port de bras is about rotation and contraction. It's like if there were heating ducts, them round cylinder heating ducts. And then right here, and around that heating duct, are razor blades. Her job is to go ahead, stick the arm into the cylinder, and don't get cut. Creating a beautiful linear line with rotation. So all of a sudden, the contraction is necessary, right? And then she's going to track back. The elbows come in. She fights. It gets hard, and then that D releases to come back to the base port de bras, and then down. At this point, she goes, ooh, G wrist, right? So 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. Why does that work? Because you automatically look like you're giving emotion. Well, you are. The emotion is ouch. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, right? So it looks like I'm getting ready to dance a masterpiece. I'm just trying to find air, right? Cool. The third port de bras takes the first port de bras and second port de bras, puts it together, and adds the contraction with an isolation. So we have base port de bras and contract. So they reach into the bowl of jello and up and down. Again, third. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. Expression, you should be able to turn on and off. Piano players play the piano. Writers write. Singers sing. Dancers dance. What does this woman say? Dancers dance. When? Right now. Right now. You should access it right now. So that's what. Turn it off. Right? It's so funny when they first learn that, they return to the 3-year-old that we want them to. Fourth port de bras. Fourth port de bras is a combination of first port de bras, second port de bras, and third port de bras. Right? With Merce Cunningham's twist around the spine with an isolated hip so that the back forks. So 1, 2, 3. Now, instead of a short track, you have a long track, arms up and front and open and allongé and 2. Other side. 1 and 2 and 6 and 7 and 8. Yes, Limón? Yes. You're going to be next. You're going to be next. Larry Clark taught me how to deal with hecklers. And the fifth port de bras. The fifth port de bras is all of them put together. And when you put all of them together, technically, there should not be a port de bras in modern dance that you have not been able to experience. So, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. Again, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. You should see the homage to Martha. You should see it all, right? You should see it all. But we also have urban social dance in what we do. We have Chinese Kung Fu. The objective of being able to stay in contact with energy and to have that energy to only be good. But it also gives you connection to anything that you look at or anything you don't look at. Right? And we also got a little, but we ain't gonna do that right now. We ain't gonna do that right now. Yeah? And a 5, and a 6, and a 7, and a 8. A 1, and a 2, and a 4, and a 5, and a 6, and a 7, and a 8. 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4, and a 5, and a 6, and a 7, and second. 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4, 5, and a 6, and a 7, and a 8. 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4, and a 5, and a 6, and a 7, and 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4, and a third. That's right. Good, third. 1, and a 2, and a 5. Yes, I said the wrong one. 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4, and a 4, 8, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4, and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 1, and a 2, and a 3, 3, and a 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4, and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Please.
If you don't give it a chance, you'll never know the glories that you can find just by trying.